name's Caitlin. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant and the author of a blog called grassfedgirl.com. I'm so excited you're here today. I've been healing myself with an ancestral diet for over 10 years, and I've been on the carnivore diet for over 4 years, and I've put my antibodies for hashimotos into remission. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk about lab work today, all about my new lab work I got done just a few weeks ago, and it is for 2023. Lab work, everyone thinks you're going to have a cholesterol that's out of control and all that on the carnivore diet, and I'm going to debunk that. Stay all the way to the end to hear my lab work results. First things first is cholesterol. So I had a 241. So 241, I think they wanted under 200. But, that's really suspect because they wanted it to be under 250 in the 80s and the 90s. And now all of a sudden it's 200. So, it used to be that 250 or under was a really healthy cholesterol. Another thing is that I'm breastfeeding, so that could make your cholesterol a little wonky. But, overall, I'm not worried about it at all because, like I said, 250 used to be normal and now it's 200. And so I think they have lowered the numbers so that they can make people take more drugs, which I, of course, am not into, and I'm not going to do that. So she thought it was actually fine because my HDL was really high. So I have an integrative doctor, so don't worry about that. But she's just a little, I think they have to follow the rule of the law or the standard of care for the most part. So they still have to question it. And she said that as long as my HDL was so high that it was driving up my total number, so that made her less concerned. And again, because I'm still kind of in the postpartum phase of breastfeeding and all that. So my HDL was 84. So it's pretty amazing, pretty high. Most people just want it above around 50. And then my triglycerides were 59, which is also very good. It's supposed to be under 150. So these are kind of your diabetes markers. And if you have high triglycerides, that is very concerning as far as a type 2 diabetes risk factor. So let's shift now to LDL, which is a little high, 142. So I think they want it less than 100. So they want your LDL to be less than 100. So, they don't separate out. There's a small dense LDL and there is a large fluffy buoyant LDL, and they don't separate that out. So if you don't get that separated out, then you don't really know which is which. The small dense is supposed to be a little more dangerous, but the HDL, the high fluffy LDL is supposed to be better for you. You can also go get a calcium artery scan that will tell you something. My husband got that done. I don't think I got it done because they never really worried about it, but my husband got it done and he had nothing, and he eats a lot of meat and fat like I do. So I'm not really worried about it. But if you are, you could always go get that. Or if your doctor's really giving you a lot of grief, you could get the calcium artery score, and that would give you another piece of data to combat some ignorance about cholesterol. So what I took away from this is that she's not really concerned about my LDL or my total cholesterol because my HDL is so high that it's like driving up my total number. So she wasn't worried about it. So I'm not worried about it either. Not that I was in the first place. They're looking for a ratio of good cholesterol to bad cholesterol, and mine was 2.9 with the goal being under 5.0. So definitely I have a good ratio of cholesterol, good to bad. One funny thing about the HDL is she said that she thought I was taking a fish oil. She was convinced that I was probably taking a fish oil or that I ate fish all the time because my HDL was so high. I do eat a lot of eggs, but I do not eat that much fish. I eat some when my husband's around because he loves fish, but I definitely do not eat that much, and I do not take an omega-3 supplement. I think that most omega-3 supplements are rancid, and it's really hard to preserve that kind of an oil over time. So I do think you should eat fish, but I just eat it when I crave it, or when my husband is eating it or my kid is eating it. I don't really crave it the way I do red meat. So just whenever it happens to be served, I'll eat it. But I do eat a ton of eggs. So maybe that was part of it. The next one we're going to talk about is homocysteine, and that is how well you are detoxing. So mine was 5.2, and they want it under 10.4. So it means that my liver and everything is working well. So homocysteine really needs to be in range, which is 5.2 for me. Under 10.4 is what they want. So that means I'm detoxing well. So that's a good thing to look at if you're worried about that. My fasting glucose is 88. So you need to have it under 65. You need to have it between 65 and 99. So mine was 88. Now, I don't think I was fasting, but I didn't really care because, again, I'm breastfeeding, and also I only ate scrambled eggs for breakfast, so that's not going to spike your blood sugar at all. So it's probably just a little tiny bit higher than it would have been, but it was 88. So if you don't eat any carbs, your blood sugar stays about the same all day, so you don't really have to worry about it. She asked me about my B12, which was 1410, and it should be around 1,000 or 1,100. She was shocked that I did not take a B12 supplement. I said, well, I take steaks every day. Is that good enough? No, I was just tongue-in-cheek, but really, I don't take supplements hardly at all. I take magnesium, maybe every once in a while some vitamin D, but I'm not really consistent. I do take magnesium every day, and she said my magnesium was very excellent for, blood levels. I don't know if that translates into actually holding on to it, but she said she was shocked that my magnesium was so high, but also that my B12 was so high without a supplement. So she was like, surely you take a supplement for B12. And I was like, no, I don't. Just take red meat every day, and that is my supplement. She did my complete metabolic panel, which evaluates electrolytes, kidney, and liver function, and she said it was normal. So all that salt I'm drinking in my electrolytes, it's not hurting me, so don't worry about that. My vitamin D was a little low, 39. A goal should be 40 to 80. She said to take 5,000 IUs a day. I do take it sometimes, but sometimes I forget. I also have the MTHFR gene mutation, which means it's harder for me to absorb supplements. But I do get in the sun a lot, especially now that it's getting into summer. So I get lots of sun. So hopefully that will go up on its own. The next thing is my anti-TPO antibodies, which is a thyroid hormone. Means your body is fighting its own thyroid hormone. So I had 28 last time, which was a year ago, and then today it was 23. So it's pretty amazing. I've been doing really strictly dairy-free, so that helped a lot, I think. And yeah, it was 23, then it was 28 the year before that, and that was pretty amazing. When I first got sick, it was 600, just to let you know. That was the main place that my sickness showed up, was in the TPO antibodies. Even my TSH was normal back then, and still is. So she also tested the TSH, the free T3, and the T4, the free T4, and all of those were normal. I did complain about my slow digestion. It was really resolved when I started carnivore, but then when I got pregnant and when I had a baby, it seemed to slow down again. So that's been troubling. I think my hormones are out of whack after having a baby. So she suggested that I'd still do a hormone panel, which I can only do on day 19 to 21 of my cycle. So I will be doing that and following up and seeing if that is out of range at all. It usually is somewhat because of breastfeeding. So hopefully by the end of the year, or by my baby's birthday, which is September 5th, I will stop breastfeeding. But Who knows? It's really hard to stop because it's really easy for us now. She suggested that I follow up with a SIBO test and a mold test. So SIBO could be contributing to slow digestion, which means you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which I do suspect that or something like that. But I thought maybe carnivore would resolve it, but it's not. So also she said maybe I have a mold sensitivity. I live in an old house, so maybe there's hidden mold that could be flaring up my immune system and causing weight loss resistance. But I just don't know if those are covered by my insurance. So I will follow up with that, but it's just a lot of, when you have a baby, your health comes last and everything about the baby comes first. So I'm trying to take some time for myself, but it's hard. So the A1C is a really good one. That's 3 months of your average blood sugar. So mine was 5.3. I think last year it was 5. So those are still really good. I think at 5.4, if you've ever read Grain Brain, he says that if you're 5.4 above, then you're starting to have brain degeneration, kind of like an Alzheimer's risk. So you definitely want it to be 5.4 or below for that. She also did the CBC, which everything was in range for that. So there's nothing there to look at out of range. So basically that was my lab work from this year, and seems like I'll make it another year. So I think everything's going pretty well. I'm not worried about my cholesterol at all. Now, if I had more of a kind of a trifecta of high triglycerides, high fasting blood sugar, and high A1C, that would to me be more of a risk factor. A low HDL, for example. If I had all of those, that would be more of a risk factor to me. And I don't, so that is what I would look for. And again, if you're worried, go get your calcium artery score and just, keep eating that red meat and don't worry about it. Don't let the man get you down. You're doing the right thing, just also look at your hair, skin, your nails, your energy level. Are you pooping? Are you sleeping? How is your stress level? These are all the things you really need to ask yourself about your blood work and your life and your health, and then make an informed decision. And if you don't like your doctor, go get a new one. You don't have to deal with that. I have a great list of tests for asking your doctor so that you have a good sense of your health. It's in my carnivore ebook. You can get it at carnivore30.info. It is 182 pages, all about how to lose weight and get healthy with the carnivore diet and fix whatever is wrong with you and live your best life. So get it today and let me know if you have any questions. What do you think about my blood work and my lab work? I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Please share this with a friend and leave a thumbs up. Bye-bye.